Welcome to the Political Ferret Show. New content will be uploaded every Wednesday and Sunday. This video was financed by my Patreons. Thank you for making the change possible. Every now and then some Europhiles came up in America and want to introduce social democracy in America because they can't imagine why someone in Europe wants what America have. And this is an interesting point. At this point I normally say, okay, come over to Europe, and I go over to America and we are all happy. And the interesting thing is that a lot of people do not understand what the problems in a social democracies are. So I want to try to point to some of the problems that we in Europe have that you in America do not have, and therefore you can't see. So it might be all the grass is always greener on the other side kind of thing. So I want the stuff you have and you want the stuff I have, and in the end we are similarly happy. I don't know, it might be like this. But the problem that I see with a lot of Americans who like socialism is that they think that they can keep all the capitalism stuff and get socialism on top of that. But this is not the case. You lose the capitalist part and you get the socialist part. And it might be that the capitalist part and all the rights and stuff you've got are more than what you have then in socialism. And this is also true with anybody else. With the people who live in a socialistic system, they think when they get more and more and more of other things like, oh, we try now to create a land that is based on our fate, and then we put capitalism on that and we hold on all the socialism parts. It doesn't work like that. You have to choose what you want. If you get something, you have to pay with something else. So the thing is, the big question is choice a good thing or a bad thing? You see, in a socialist situation, like we have here on the left side of the screen, you get some stuff, okay, and it's intermediate. On the other side, in a capitalist society, you can select what you want. You can select, and you can do this on your own. And you can select, if you do the right thing, an absolutely better product than those guys in a socialistic society have, or you can choose an inferior product. And the thing is choice a good or a bad thing? Because you can end up with a worse situation than in a socialistic society. And socialists often say this is the key factor, this is the problem, you can end up in a bad situation, and they forget that a lot of people end up in a better situation. This is pretty much what this is all about and what this comment was all about. So the thing is, we have different potentials. You see, somebody with no legs can't be a good runner. We all have different potentials for different reasons. I mean, I'm not a brilliant, football player, so I don't have a high potential of getting to the, NFL and play football there. But I have other potentials and I try to optimize on that. So in a capitalist society, you just watch where you're good at and you do that and you repeat that and you reach your potential or not. But there is an average. There is an average in potential, but nobody cares about the potentials. There is an average in gain, what people can do. And some people perform better and some people perform worse. And there is an absolute majority that performs average. Most of us, 50% are above average, 50% are below average, pretty much nobody is the average. In a socialistic and communistic society, they say, okay, we have to redistribute from those who have higher potentials to those who have lower potential, because this is socially just, and then in the end everybody gets the same thing. The interesting thing in a communistic society is that the credo is from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs. The thing is, you don't know for sure what is the ability of somebody and what is the need of somebody. This means that the distribution might look something like that because the party says, oh, this guy over here needs a lot of stuff because he has, disabilities or something like this, and others over there, they need only that little. And this might also not be all that fair. The question is, who decides what is your ability and what is your need? And in pretty much all the history of communism, there was always a party who decided exactly that, and they were never really fair. So in a socialistic society or in a social democracy, you do it pretty much in the same way. You say, okay, there is a limit, there is a poor level limit, nobody can be poorer than that, and you redistribute in a fashion that nobody is per definition poor, but this is just a definition. So if we go one step back, what does this mean and how does it look like? You see, in a capitalist society, you change goods. Somebody has something that you want, you change goods. Often one of the partners uses money for the change. In a communistic society, pretty much all the stuff goes to the state or to the collective or the collective management, whatever. In 99% it is the state. It was pretty much always the state. But a lot of people pointed out it is unfair to say that it is the state because in pure communist there is no state. That's right, but there is a management of the collective and they collect all the stuff and then they redistribute based on needs. And this must not need to be fair from your point of view. So in the next thing, in a social democratic society, you pretty much play capitalism, but the state gets part of the deal and can then do with the money whatever they please. Like when somebody comes over and say, I'm gonna kill you all, and the state say, hey, that sounds like a great idea, I give you some money. And some people like that and other people do not like that. And this is pretty much what we have right now with the migrant crisis in Europe. Some people like this idea of some people coming over and kill us all, and other people like me don't like this all that much. So the thing is, in a capitalist society where you can interchange freely pretty much and somebody comes over and say, I'm gonna kill you all, you can say, get a job. And what they then do is they adopt to your lifestyle and become useful members of your society, or they go away. In other words, we have to deal with people that do not exist in America. I'm not talking about terrorism or something like that. I talk about people who come over, take our money, pretty much say they want to kill us all, and there are no repercussions whatsoever to do something against them. You don't have these people because you don't have the state handouts that we have. Some people might now jump around, I know the anarcho-capitalists now jump around and say, oh, we have a welfare state. Yeah, man, we have a bigger welfare state. It's about 5 times bigger. You get way more money for doing nothing over here. So the thing is, there are socialists in a capitalist society and a capitalist in a socialistic society. Why not interchange? I mean, we would be all very happy if we just organize based on our ideas. But then, of course, you have to deal with the problems that socialistic societies have. And you then might say, help me, I do not deserve that, I thought this would be different, this would be paradise. And the other side can say, meh, I told you so, I don't care. So you have to take the risk. But I would encourage you, when all the socialists come over to Europe, I would think I would go to America. I think it's a good idea. You see, we right now have this situation that our nation states are pretty much organized based on language. It's not based on an idea, it's more based on language. And there are different groups within these nations, and pretty much all the groups say, but if they all follow my idea, we are all happy. But that's not the case, because a lot of people want different things, and it does not matter if this idea is that we all follow the same fate, if we all should be democratic, if we all be socialist, it doesn't matter. That's not the idea. We live in different nations with different ideas, with different people who have different ideas. And if we change in a fashion that we say, okay, there is a communist land, there is a capitalistic land, there is a social democratic land, there are lands for the fanatics, and so on and so on, I think we could be quite happy. We would need some borders and a lot of walls, perhaps, because some people would want to wage war against each other. And we should not allow that. We should live pretty much in, I don't say harmony, but in relative peace with each other. If somebody comes up and say, I want to be a communist, he should go over to a communist land. If somebody says, I want to leave the communist land, I want to go to the socialist land, he should be able to do that. But in the moment they join the other nations, they have to adopt their laws. They can't go over and say, I go now to capitalist land and want to bring them over to a communist state. This is not how it works, and this is not how peace works. So I hope I gave you some insights about why social democracies have problems that you can't see in America, and that you can't get socialism on top on capitalism. You pay with capitalism, you pay with some wealth, and you pay with a lot of freedoms. If it is worth that, perhaps moving to Europe is a good idea for you. I know some Americans who did exactly that, who said, I want to live in a socialistic land, I go over. If a lot of them do that, I think the idea for the capitalists in Europe over here to go to America is more interesting, because right now it is not sure that America will be a capitalist nation in 30 years time, and that's the main reason I don't go over there. So tell me what you think about it. I hope this discussion spark a lot of new discussions. Thanks for watching, like, share and subscribe of course, and have a wonderful time.